what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the HAVIT HV-H2150D. Now these are a set of headphones that really remind me of the Sony XB range. The Sony XB range was greatly respected on the audiophile community. Despite being very V-shaped and very boomy sounding in terms of bass, they were very affordable for what they offered. These ones, in terms of size, remind me of the XB500s, and therefore I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to the XB500s. This headphone can be found for £20 or $20 on Amazon.co.uk or Amazon.com. Links will be in the description below in case you're interested. So let's start off with the build quality and design. So it's terminated by a right-angled 3.5mm jack, which is gold-plated, and it has a flat cable design, which has a nice long cable, so it'll be easy to fit if you want to actually use it on your desktop PC. The termination over here is non-removable despite its look, just like the Sony XB range. It looked like it could be removed, but it isn't. Then it's finished with a plastic design, which is there, as you can imagine, due to costs, but this does make the headphone really light overall. Now the cushions is what really reminded me of the XB range, and it is very similar in terms of comfort. That said, the XB range was slightly more comfortable due to the choice of material. I felt the choice of material on the XB 500s, for example, was a lot softer and just a bit more cushiony feeling. Let's put it that way. They're super great. Some people call them the pillow headphones because they're really soft. These ones are soft as well. They do isolate quite well, but they do feel a little bit cheaper, and unfortunately over time, if you're going to be running, for example, if you were to run with these, then they do sweat just a little bit, so do bear that in mind. They are over-the-ear headphones, and they fit pretty well over my ears. Just bear that in mind in terms of your ear shape. If you've got big ears, then it might not be quite over the ear, and so yeah, there you go. The headband itself can be adjusted as you'd expect, and it's also got little markings over here which show the adjustment. This is great because then you can know how many clicks you've gone up on both sides. Something the Sony XB range didn't actually really have that well done. Now the headband assembly is as well plastic. It does flex quite a bit, which is brilliant, but the headband at the top is not really cushioned at all, which means in terms of comfort, if you're going to wear these over time, you might feel these digging in just a little bit. That said, they are quite light and obviously cheap headphones, so you'd expect costs to be saved somewhere. Now the most important part is the sound for me. Now the sound is really intriguing because it does really remind me of the Sony XB 500s. I used to own the 700s and used the 500s for a period of time, and the 700s were obviously the bigger daddies of the 500s. Now, if I compare these directly to the 500s, mainly due to their size and in terms of their sound, I felt that the Sony XB 500 would come out on top. But there were little bits here and there that were very similar. So the low end, starting with the low end, the mid-bass slam on the HAVIT headphones was pretty much identical to the XB 500. It was a little bit of an uncontrolled bass that was mainly dominated by the mid-bass slam. The sub-bass was slightly present, but mainly non-existent, if that makes sense. So same as the XB 500s, they did extend a little bit, but did cut off quite quickly, whereas the XB 700s did extend really well into the sub-bass region. Now, the mids, exactly the same as the XB 500s, almost, not saying non-existent, but extremely V-shaped. I would say sound signature kind of like that. Very V-shaped, very recessed, and very pushed back, mainly due to its mid-bass slam. So do bear that in mind when you're going to be buying these. You might find that some sounds might not be coming out from your music simply due to its really recessed mids. The highs were decent, but not as good as the XB 500. The XB 500 had a nice sort of extension and didn't really, well, they did roll off, but they didn't roll off as much as these HAVIT headphones. So therefore, you still got a really reasonably good sparkle and sound, but unfortunately, it kind of rolled off. I would have liked to see a little bit more highs on the HAVIT headphones. But overall, in terms of sound, I felt these were decent. At £20, what do you kind of expect? I felt these did punch above their weight and really did remind me of the XB 500, which is a great thing to have. The soundstage itself, due to their big cups and drivers, was nice and expansive, and it did feel that you were immersed in the music when you were hearing these. So overall, I've got to say guys, this is quite a good headphone to have. It's not normally something that I would pick up because of, because it feels kind of cheap, so to speak. But at £20, what do you expect? It is supposed to be cutting down costs somewhere. And I feel that on the Sonys, for example, you are paying a little bit more for that little extra refinement in sound and the better build quality, with the brushed aluminium look and the better pads and a little bit of padding at the top over here. So overall, really does remind me of a Sony XB500. In fact, a cheaper XB500, because the XB500 came in initially, I think, around 60 to 50 pounds. Then later down in line could be found at 35 pounds. Still nowhere near the 20 pound price tag these come in at. So I would definitely check these out if you're looking for a cheap set of headphones. Do bear in mind their size. They're quite big if you compare it to a Galaxy Note 2. They're pretty big, especially their cups. But overall, I do like them and I do suggest them. Alright guys, I've been totally dubbed. As I said before, if you want to check these out, check them out on Amazon below, on amazon.co.uk or amazon.com. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, favourite and share, as it always helps. Alright guys, I've been totally dubbed. Take care. Bye bye.